Welcome back to the President's Cup here in Oakville, Ontario at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. We're at that part of moving day where you look around before you clean up and you, man, this is a mess.
It sure is.
The standings. I mean, Evan Schumanauer is trying to work it out. We're trying to work it out. There's a lot of math happening. Here's what we know. Snake Island wins. They're through to tomorrow. We'll figure out the seedings later. Ladner already in, but they need a victory here so they can keep pace with the Oakville Rock, who come up later tonight.
You're right. And if we start going to the other end, if Snake Island loses, they're 3-3. So is Edmonton. And there's a chance that the Six Nations could end the day 3-3 if they beat Tuscarora. And even Kanawaki, they still have a chance to finish 3-3.
That would create a four-way tie.
Four-way tie. But, you know, it'd be difficult for Kanawaki to beat the Oakville Rock the way both teams have played. But very realistic that Six Nations could beat Tuscarora.
Absolutely. And the ratio does not look good at the moment for Snake Island if they were in that three-way loss. So very important to just take care of your business. And all you need is one more than the Ladner Pioneers. And you'll be back here tomorrow. Low shot there from Joe Resiteritz. From the Snake Island Muskies, who have gone back to their black uniforms. Yellow numbers left to right away from Nick DeMood. White unis for the Ladner Pioneers, who are the defending champions and are headed to the semifinal tomorrow. Whether they play at 3 or at 7 is the question.
And one key scratch for Ladner. Ryan Benesh not playing. Mm-hmm. We hope that's load management for the old
Just
vet.
a day off,
yeah, but everybody else, all their other guns are in.
Came into the day in the top 5 in scoring in the tournament. Was knocked out recently by, not sure if I think Levi Anderson got ahead of him.
Levi Anderson's number 1 right now.
Him and Mike Triolo both had phenomenal days. It was Rob Hellier, actually, for Ganawaki that surpassed him with a 6-point afternoon. Ladner slowing things down. Zach Kerwires. Austin Shanks late in the shot clock. Finds the cutter. What a hit there. Tyler Hall's coming over. Take care of that's Ryan Keith.
A nice play by Tyler Halls to put down Ryan Keith, who's a big man himself.
There was a lot of human colliding in front of that crease right there. Skylar Thomas, who's come on in the last couple of days. Nifty little move in front to find Brian Rice, but Christian Del Bianco, as he's done throughout this tournament, standing tall in his crease.
I didn't even check to make sure Del Bianco was in net, but it would have been a shock if he wasn't. He likes his minutes. He likes to play.
Well, we had that conversation last game whether or not Nick Rose might be in there tonight. Still have to wait and find out, but again, I would be shocked if it's not him. As we look ahead to our nightcap game, Ganawaki coming up in the losing end against Edmonton, a game that Edmonton really needed to get them in the win column. They finish with 3-3. Still need a few things to go their way to be guaranteed a spot into tomorrow, but looks pretty good for the Miners. With Ladner and Oakville already clinching, that leaves
it's still amazing.
One spot left.
This late in the round robin, and we still have a chance. We have a chance for a 4-way tie for 2 spots.
For 2 spots. There's going to be some disappointment at the end of the day. Ball down in the corner here. Ty Thompson. Shotgun in on net. Carried up by Jake Carey. Haven't talked much today about Tuscarora. Tomahawks coming up in the next game against Six Nations, and they can play spoiler in their final game of the tournament. An 0-5 record will not do it to get you through to the semis, but
you know they're not going to be giving Six Nations any freebie out there.
They haven't given anybody a freebie. Despite the 0-5, they could very well be, 2 or 3 wins here in this tournament. Big high step from the outside to the net. And running through the crease after the shot was Vaughn Harris, who we saw go down on their double game 2 days ago. Went down hurt in the first one and then came back later that night. Tyler Pace takes the pass from Bromley. Pace outside halfway through the shot clock. Back up top, the shot from distance, and one bounces wide as well and called in the crease.
Tyler Pace was given the morning off yesterday because that was their double day for Ladner. And
everybody got the morning off yesterday.
That's right. And I do think they looked tired in that last game. Not Tyler Pace, just the team as a whole, Ladner, and so they should be. Playing 2 games in 1 day is tough.
Joe Restiteritz from the outside. Little bounce shot. Bit of trouble with it for Samford, but he comes through, and now it's a low shot from Atwood. That took a big bite out of Owen Barker, who is slowly making his way back to the minors bench. I found Chris Atwood, by the way. He's over there on Snake Island. If you were watching our first game.
Yeah, you had me scratching my head this morning.
Pass intercepted. Snake Island working out with it. Shane Francis to the trailer. Off the bench, Vaughn Harris. Ball never got there.
3-on-2.
Here's Sam Clare, one of the scratches from that early game yesterday. His shot right into the Muskies logo. Gets it again and scores.
Nice play by Sam Clare to recognize the 3-on-2. Man's coming from the bench, so he steps in and takes the shot. But this is even nicer how he tracks the rebound, keeps his feet out of the crease, and puts it in.
Back to center we go. Face off all the way back to DeMood. Claire's goal unassisted on the 7th shot of the period for Ladner. Only 5.5 minutes in, we're going to get our first penalty as well. Brian Rice headed to the crease, and Travis Irving headed to the box.
Nice play by Rice. Even though he's going up against a much bigger defender, he forces Irving to have to take him down. Look at him just muscling his way to the net, and he's eventually pulled down. Clear-cut penalty. No argument on that.
Marcus Fisher, Hayden Laporte playing back-to-back, and Herbie John, your 3 officials on floor. Jacoby Krassman, the standby in the penalty box. Restiteritz puts it up top. Shot from Harris. Not through, but Del Bianco the save. Mike Mallory can't find Claire with the outlet pass, and that won't bring any smiles to that Ladner bench. Throwing it away on the penalty kill.
Skylar Thomas playing the spot that we'd normally see Ryan Benesh in.
And Restiteritz down low. Restiteritz gets it again, and it's underneath of Del Bianco somewhere.
Nice save by Del Bianco. I mean, Restiteritz is just in the spot he likes to be in. We mentioned so many righties scoring goals from that side.
As good a tournament as he's had, he was the addition from the Akwesasne Bucks that were just absolutely stacked. Kawilade Mitchell admitting that he wasn't necessarily first choice, but he was the guy that could make it. And Joe Restiteritz has fit in nicely.
Not bad. If he's a second or third choice, that's pretty good.
I don't know how far down the list they got, but he did say they were thinking of perhaps somebody else coming to the tournament, and work commitments got in the way. So here's Joe Restiteritz, who has put together a great Prezi. Ron Harris, Skylar Thomas fakes, shoots. Del Bianco with the save, and Ladner coming away with the loose ball. Couple big chops in on Hanari. Jensen will cross center, and the
Barely on time.
Oh, yeah. 10-second count in effect when you're killing a penalty, as is the over and back. Low shot from Austin Shanks, who's gone back to the orange glove, switched it up in the late game yesterday. Up top, there's a penalty coming here. I think Snake Island had too many. Ladner, too many, excuse me. And everybody trying to find a ref that they can plead their case to.
Well, they are disagreeing with him, and I can't say that I saw. But the Ladner bench is convinced the referees made a mistake on that. Captain Ryan Keith is having a discussion. You know you won't get the referee to change his mind, but if you can convince them that maybe he made a mistake, you can put it in their heads that they owe you one. So just after killing a penalty, Ladner goes back to short man.
Snake Island's second opportunity. Still looking to break through. Resetaritz up top again. Him and Thomas play catch. Now Resetaritz will switch place with Von Harris. Harris's shot finds the iron. Resetaritz, quick stick, and Del Bianco there to make a great save.
When we get a chance, we're going to have to see that one again. That was a beautiful save set up by Resetaritz, and Del Bianco got the stick in the way.
Not quite as good as the mid-air kick he made last night, but boy, oh boy, this is going to be a pretty one as well.
Both excellent saves by the same guy.
Adding to his highlight reel that is already many, many years in the making.
He's already made some unbelievable saves through a very young career.
Chris Atwood out there in the Von Harris spot now. Skylar Thomas's shot also handed by Del Bianco, who's back quick up to his feet and finding Nick Jensen down floor. They're going to push here in transition shorthanded.
Oh my God.
Streaking off the bench, Spencer Bromley.
Holy cow. He came out like he was coming out of a cannon.
He's shown his wheels a few times here in the tournament. Shot clock under 10. Penalty time under 30. As we close in on the halfway mark of this first period, scheduled for 3:20s. Another one that seems to have flown by. Skylar Thomas down the near side. By the time we get all the pregame finished, Del Bianco went back to his right, didn't have to make a save there, jumped back left and did it again. Penalty has expired. We usually get underway around 5 minutes after, so only about 2 minutes or so wasted time so far in this first period. Games have been moving quickly. Mike Mallory's shot saved by Damoud. I'm going to say it didn't hit him as the shot clock continues to tick down. And Damoud hasn't had a lot to do lately, although it has made 10 saves in the period. Pardon me, 7 saves off 8 shots. 10 back the other way on Del Bianco so far.
Del Bianco's been spectacular at times, especially with those 2 power plays.
Stephen Keogh out there, first time we believe called Keogh's name. Swim move, shot. Jacob Doucette just missed, reset. As Chris Atwood and the Muskies take it. Another guy that if he gets 1 or 2 goals, you can expect 5 more to quickly follow in succession. Down in the corner, Resetaritz wheels up over the top, was expecting shot, but he passes to Thomas through the middle. Von Harris over the net. No shot from Atwood, came from behind the goal line. He was in the crease anyways. And Ladner get it back, the defending champions. Already booked their semifinal ticket. What a game last night between them and Oakville. Shanks to the near side, far boards, return for Shanks, and just out of his way.
Oh, nice pass.
Meanwhile, down floor, Bromley showing his wheels again. Caught up to the shooter, but not before Del Bianco forced into another save. I believe that was Nate Woods.
It was Nate Woods. I wonder if he'd known that he had a teammate behind him, if he would have flipped the ball back. Because Bromley, yes, was all over him.
Shot from Shanks goes way high before touching the safety netting. Just the one goal to speak of. Sam Clare unassisted. Only 1 point in this game. Bryn Rice, who I thought was robbed of a bucket hat a few days ago. Really good game, may have even been yesterday. Remember, this Snake Island team came out. Here comes Carey in transition. Low save made by Damoud. Came out and played 3 games early. The 11, the 8, and then the 11 again. And then we're off until the 8 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, very tough start to the tournament, but they finished 2-1 in those first 3 quick games.
And now they get a 2 p.m. And it'll either be 3 or 7 tomorrow should they make it through. So, I mean, they're seeing every part of the schedule here at the President's Cup. Over the top sidearm, that goes off the face mask, yeah.
Hairwire's got everything behind that shot.
Throat guard of Damoud. And
I would not be surprised if he's showing that it's broken.
Yeah.
Look at that wind up, that shot by Hairwires.
Yeah, he was about to go back in the net. Yeah, now he turns back the other way.
Looked at, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's Christian Del Bianco for your viewing pleasure.
Oh, yes. That was a beautiful save. Came across. You know, nice setup to Sam Firth, who's yet to score a goal. And he must feel like it's just not happening if he's not putting that one in.
What's he got to do?
Yeah, he did nothing wrong with that. I mean, that was a good, quick stick to the open net. You know, I was once at a coaching clinic where the goalie coach, he was like a former Hall of Fame goalie. I can't remember his name right now. It was many years ago. But he said whenever there's an empty net and a player shooting for it, as a goalie, he always put his stick in the middle. Because he said most people see a wide open net, they're not shooting for a corner.
Right.
They're shooting for the middle of the open net. And he goes, and it's a real hero move when it hits your stick. Larry Smeltzer, that was his name. Hall of Fame goaltender from Fergus, Ontario. Glad I remembered his name.
Snake Island rushing out again. Ty Thompson. Centering pass ends up underneath of Del Bianco again. Just impressive the speed at which he gets from down, and like there's a leg
and you know
lost underneath him, and he's back up and in a shooting position.
Well, the thing is also with the plastic sticks in the NLL, it's a lot easier to get a quick pass away. Those are big heavy wood sticks.
The twisted transition is how you beat him. Tyler Halls finds out.
Tyler Hall's his first goal in the tournament, and you wouldn't know it with that finish. This is like a beautiful twister coming down on his wrong side. Jake and I talked about wrong sides. Oh my gosh, that's a fantastic shot.
And he's running away from Bromley, who's already showed speed twice. So if you want to know how quick Tyler Halls was going, there's only one pair of shoes that I know of over on that Snake Island bench that will make that pass. So I'm giving it to Luke Magnan, the assist. We'll see if they caught that down there on the floor. Shots 12-11 in favor of Snake Island now. No, Nick Damoud and Shane Francis is where they've gone with it, but I was pretty sure that was Luke Magnan. Anyways, point that counts is that Tyler Halls has tied this game up. Near side, couple fakes for Rice. Looking back for Resiteritz. It's off the dasher and sky high, and 3 Ladner Pioneers can break out with it. Led by Owen Barker, who takes the shot. Demuth the first save, rebound, and in the crease was Nick Jensen.
This Ladner team does run well. And they seem to, every time they pick up the ball, they're looking for a transition opportunity.
Which is why that game last night was such a treat. Off the crossbar and up out of play. Off the stick of Chris Atwood. Both Oakville Rock Ladner Pioneers teams that like to run and have kicked it up a notch as this tournament's progressed. Resiteritz centering. Ty Thompson got the shot, but the save made, and here comes Ladner again in transition. It's Mike Mallory leading it this time. Off the bench, and Hairwires just missed. They were covered in the corner, however, halfway through the shot clock. Couple late changes, a long way home from the bench here. Mike Mallory standing, taking punishment. Now into Phil Caputo, who had 2 quick goals yesterday, earned himself a bucket hat.
And good job, well executed pick and roll, especially given the fact that Wallace Thompson knew it was coming. He could see Caputo coming up. Caputo still was able to bounce off him and get to the net and take the pass.
Del Bianco the save. He'll come up the near side. Carey racing out in transition. Under 4 to go here in the first period. Bromley pulls back out. Waits for Captain Ryan Keith. Outside for Shanks. Pick on the near side. Blew up Nate Woods. Shanks will chase.
Looks like he stepped through the
Ball
crease.
down low and through that black turf. Blue turf here on the blue rink.
I was going to ask you about a color blindness test.
I don't know, Shane. These back-to-back two-in-a-day games. First one for me this week, and it's shown in the first period. Not a good sign.
Well, it doesn't help that we'll do a couple of games, and then we'll watch a couple of games. How we spend our time off.
Pace had a screen in front of him, but no lane to run. It was Magnin, closing off that corner. Back the other way. Alex Turner got to the crease, took a big whack.
I thought they were actually calling Turner for stepping in the crease, but no, he got the shot away and it went out of bounds. He gets his ball back for his team. And he's on the bench. Looks like they're checking his teeth.
Pace to Caputo, quickly far side. Shot goes through. Caputo has it back. Bromley tucks outside. Late change coming. Dylan Lacroix shoots it in on Demuth.
And Demuth's done a great job of stepping out on the long shots. You know, there's a big full windup by the Ladner player there, and Demuth was at the top of the crease.
Well, anybody who's followed our coverage throughout this tournament, that's where a lot of them have been coming from the outside. Had our fair share of pretty highlights closer to the crease, but the shooting has been on display as it is there from Von Harris as well. Late in the clock. And Rice, did he get one in to beat it? He did, but the Pioneers are there for the rebound.
Even yesterday, and against the great goaltender, Christian Del Bianco, Andrew Q. How many goals did Q get yesterday? It seemed he got a boatload again, and it just seemed like outside shots. You know, we've had 5 or 6 elite shooters scoring a ton of outside shots. Andrew Q comes to mind, obviously. Triolo.
Q can't miss in this tournament. And then you pair him with Lanchbury, who's doing the same thing on the right side.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Anytime you see Q wind up, you think this could very likely be a goal.
Anthony Patterson has got a couple for Tuscarora as well. See him coming up in our next game, Snake Island. Against Six Nations. Waved off on the crease, Ty Thompson. A few boos come down here in the house. Jake Elliott, Pat Gregoire will be back in the seat for the 5 and 8 p.m. games today.
And there's another guy who could score from the outside. Pace, Tyler Pace has picked some corners from up there.
Thought you were going to say Pat Gregoire. Shane Francis over the restraining line. A quick peek at the clock. There's going to be about 5 seconds left on it when Ladner gets this back, but Snake Island is going to get...
if they're pulling their goalie or just faking us out.
DeMude is standing on the floor by the door. That one was destined for one of the stanchions. Jensen's going to run in, no timeout called. Jensen with it, one-on-one, 2 on the clock. 1 spins, 1 head fire, and DeMude makes the save at the buzzer.
Well, not a bad scoring opportunity for Jensen to end the period.
And even better, I think, the restraint from the team and the bench to not use the timeout. We saw that in the last game take a transition opportunity away.
Yeah, I think it's wise. They got the ball with just over 30 seconds, Snake Island did, so they didn't want to waste a timeout. So both teams are saving them up for what looks to be a close game.
Yeah, 1-1, an important one for both teams as Ladner looks to see what they can do with top spot. Snake Island need a win to get in. 2 periods left here on moving day at the 2023 President's Cup. Tied for the lowest scoring first period of the tournament. We had a 2-0 earlier in the first. So you did have a couple third periods that were 1-0, but otherwise just a goal per side. Sam Clare for Ladner and Tyler Halls for Snake Island give us a 1-1 tie score in this all-important game. For Snake Island, win and you're in, and for Ladner to win to try and get that first seed, depending what happens tonight with Oakville and Kahnawake.
You know, and no shortages of shots, 16 to 15. So, you know, we're on pace for like about 45 shots each. So that's some great goaltending by both teams.
Zach Hairwires leading Ladner, who go left to right here. Shanks, a hard shot up high again on Damoud. That one by Caputo over the net. And Rice is going to break out. Has Nate Woods with him.
I was talking with one of the GMs, NLL GMs that is here, and I've seen many of them. Dan Carey, GM of Rochester. And we were talking about some of the guys who've put up big numbers, and he says all the more impressive with the type of defense and goaltending we have here.
Yeah. Terrence dives, and you can see normally if that was NLL, he'd take off closer to the crease, but when your feet aren't able to go through, that dive happened well before the mark he would have done if this was in the winter.
And we have seen so many more goals called off for crease calls than we probably would in an NLL game.
Tyler Pace. A couple big high steps. Had time to load that shot. And when he got it through, it hit off Damoud.
That's often money when Tyler Pace gets to wind up from there. But Damoud, like his counterpart, Del Bianco, is on his game.
Lacroix will put it in the corner. Couple cutters, including Austin Shanks. Turner still has it, though, as he turns away. Now Lacroix cuts in. That one bounces just wide. Pace will get it back with 8 on the shot clock. They try quick stick to Lacroix. Rebound up for grabs. Luke Magnan gets there first and runs away. We got some star power goalies in this tournament. And when you first looked at the roster, the name Nick Damoud probably didn't stand out too much, but he's been right there with the Nick Roses and the Christian Del Biancos.
Yeah. He was just playing junior lacrosse a few years ago in St. Catharines. Was it St. Catharines?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think he played
Cam
for
McLeod
Steve Toll.
took over for him. Pace faked a couple times. Damoud goes with him and makes the save. Don't think they might not have been directly back-to-back, but a couple St. Catharines goaltenders in this tournament. Cam McLeod in as well for the Edmonton Miners. Outside, Terrence, that shot over the top may have been redirected by Owen Barker. And Barker will bring it down the near side. See if they speed up this second period. Already seeing transition from both sides. To Woody from Brandon Swamp.
4-2.
Lead transition this time, yeah. Big numbers for Snake Island and Terrence. Went off the top to get to his correct side. And
nice steal.
over the top by Zach Deacon.
That was a nice play by Zekin. And I always say the only danger with having a 4-on-2 is when you don't score, it goes back the other way. And Zach Deacon had a nice stick check to make sure that didn't happen.
We are seeing some speed in this game. There's been transition chances, not a lot to show for it on the scoreboard, but I mean, Bromley's been wheeling. The transition plays there now. Oh, Vaughn Harris has been doing this all tournament long.
It's surprising that this is only his 6th goal of the tournament.
It seems like way more
Seems
than
like
that.
more. He opened the tournament hot, but he's been consistent, like a goal a game or so, but he's got such a good outside shot. And who knows if he's been affected at all by whatever that injury was in game 2, I believe, on the first day. But nice shot. Watching the faceoff where Patrick Zabo gets up
Bit slow after that face-off. Pace. Hair wires off the bench. Sends it to Bromley in the corner. Shanks fell. Goes down again. Had help that time. Meaning Pace has to go to Caputo, who goes to the net.
Quick response from Ladner. And Caputo, who's been generally playing by the crease, but popping up to throw a few big picks. And this is not the first time that he's had the ball pop. Watch here. Comes up, throws the pick, bounces off his man, and this time makes no mistake as he puts it in. It is such a tough feeling when you feel that pick on your back and you know your man is heading towards the net. And Caputo did a great job there.
Here's Bromley again getting dirty in the corner. Tyler Halls came away with it though. He has a transition goal in this game, part of the 2 on the board for Snake Island, now matching 2 from Ladner. Count when the shot clock is on down on the floor by the official, as now they reset it. Claire lost control of it. It was caught up in his body somewhere, and Swamp comes in, finds a man off the bench. It's Ty Thompson, whose hard shot sails into the corner. On the run, Davidson has Shanks out the front door. Barker trailing the play. He'll get the ball now. Brings it down and steers clear of the crease. Turner over there with him. Barker across for Shanks. Hits the outside of the post. Rebound straight to Turner. Wants to give to Pace. The last game that Benesh missed was the 5-4 game for Ladner. Only 5 goals in offense, and I mean they're well below their average here today as well, with just 2 with Benesh on the sidelines, if you want to know how important he is. On the run, a couple fakes for Thompson. As he and many before him have trouble solving Christian Del Bianco. Shots even at 20. So's the score at 2. 6 minutes gone here in the period.
Oh, nice play.
Around the world shot from Von Harris. That hit the defender in front. And eventually it works its way to Ladner. Travis Irving, Sam Clare, front door.
Almost put that one in the bench.
Yeah, Pace had to climb the ladder to bring it back down. Here's Hairwires. Off the
boy.
Post off the back of Demuth, and he just got the stick in the way before it came back over the line. Shane Francis. Good thing the fashion police aren't here for that one. There's maroon pants with the black and gold. Not sure what Jake Elliott would think of that. Stephen Keogh, couple fakes before he went through.
I don't know if I should be insulted that you don't think I think about anything about fashion.
He's been the more vocal one about it this week. The shoes that don't match the socks got to go with the mouth guard. Gloves got to match the stick. I mean, Keogh, far side corner. On the
nice
run,
save.
low shot, and that is a good save on Sam Firth, who...
He's been snake bitten.
I mean, goodness. You just got to assume, like, something's got to go in eventually, no? Been hard to come by for a lot of players in this tournament.
Well, and they're definitely hoping this is not their last game.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, if you look at Tuscarora, you know it's the last one, and you know play for pride, however you want to say it. Oh, Bromley takes his man into the corner, and there's going to be a penalty as a result as everyone goes running in to see what they can say to Bromley, but he'll be taken off.
Brandon Swamp looks like he's all right. There, let's watch it from here. And you got to be careful whenever you're on the back. I don't think it was violent, maybe a little reckless. And they're looking for a 5. I don't think they'll get a 5.
No. Interference, maybe cross-checking. You usually end up seeing in this instance, but either way, it'll be the third power play already for Snake Island. Had 2 without scoring in that first period. And they're not going to give us a signal. 4 checking from behind. Under CLA rules, that's an automatic. You can go 4 or you can go 5, and they decide to go 4. We saw that rule a couple times now, including yesterday when a goal was scored to take the initial 2 off, and then the player went back in the box to serve the second deuce. Magnan and Keith getting an explanation. A couple shout-outs, by the way, including our replay op today, Chris Main. Happy birthday, my friend. Celebrating
happy
here.
birthday, Chris.
Good thing the game's at 3 p.m. tomorrow. That's all I got to say. My son Andrew Carrick watching up in Sudbury. Keogh has his power play. He gets going. Joe Resiteritz. One bounced away from Firth, who has it back now. Resiteritz. Oh, Keogh changed direction, but so did Del Bianco. Resiteritz will come off top spot. He wanted Firth to take his spot, and Firth wouldn't go. Now Keogh lost his stick in the middle. It bounces off Firth, and there was a whole bunch of misplays, including Resiteritz diving for the bench to try and negate the too many men call, and it's Damoud bailing out his Muskies teammates.
Great speed by Carey, unable to score in the transition. I must have missed something behind the play, but there's another penalty coming to Ladner.
Yeah, I don't know, unless they got caught for too many.
I don't think that was it.
I didn't see a too many men call. Unsportsmanlike, so something must have been set off the bench that wasn't enough to get up this far. Sam Clare will serve.
As good as the short man has been so far for Ladner, they don't want to mess with this.
No. 3 minutes remaining in the double minor, and now a deuce on the board for unsportsmanlike.
I don't think, in the games I've done this tournament, I don't think I've seen a 5-on-3 without a goal yet.
Down on the crease, a number of fakes. Go back down there to Thomas and Resiteritz. This should be a goal, I think. Official got blocked out.
The referee up high should have seen what we saw.
Yeah.
Now, I think the referee behind the net might not. The ball was out by the time he got close. All right, let's watch the replay. I am quite sure this went in, and you are too.
They signal goal as we get another look.
Oh, yeah,
that's it right there.
Yeah, it's not even that easy to tell on the replay as it was live that went in and out. Now, good thing, 3 sets of eyes from the referees.
Now what happens on the clock, Josh Sanderson's trying to help the officials, saying the double minor goes down to 2, which is what they've done, because that's the penalty that made them short.
That's right, so they get to benefit from another full 5-on-3, pretty much.
Yeah.
That took 15 seconds off the second penalty.
And they'll win the face-off too. Zach Deacon coming away with it.
So I've said I've never seen a 5-on-3 or 4-on-3 this weekend that wasn't a goal. I think I said we saw one shorthanded goal, but then a power play after the fact.
Another unassisted goal. Haven't seen very many of those in the tournament either, as they go back to Joey Rez again. And just wide of Del Bianco. Keogh wants to rip. Takes it late in the shot clock.
I'm not blaming you, but that's Vaughn Harris, not Keogh.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Traditionally, Keogh's number 28, but I guess with Vaughn Harris having 28, Keogh went to the 82.
82.
And plays the same spot.
Ball rolled right to Magnan, but he had lost his stick, so couldn't pick it up. And Jerry Stotts, who's had a strong tournament defensively, jogs it over the timeline. 44 seconds remaining in this 5-on-3. Already 1 goal scored for the Muskies. Cross crease. Del Bianco matched it, and somehow Skylar Thomas sneaks it through.
Skylar Thomas, who I thought had his best game of the tournament yesterday, gets his second goal to go along with a handful of or more than a handful of assists. And let's see. Oh, yeah. The big first fake, and then he went between the legs, I think, of Del Bianco. And they're still on that power play for 35 seconds.
Traditional 5-on-4 now, however. Tyler Hall's awarded the face-off. And Zach Deacon will come in. And that brought out the Muskies chant from underneath of us.
Skylar Thomas just his second goal, but he's got 8 assists to go along with it.
Resetarits up top, a couple fakes. Now that's got to be Keogh right there.
Yep.
As the ball goes wide, and they're going to say he ran through the crease before he got it.
And they've come out with 2 power play goals. Ladner's going to want to go back to work and stay out of the box.
Extended 5-on-3 has made the difference so far. 4-2. Pace on the run, over the shoulder. The shot hits the end boards. Shanks, Hairwires. That one wide of the mark. Hairwires will get it back, and he'll dump it into the corner as the shot clock was about to sound. Woods. Getting here to Atwood. He'll wait it out down to the far side. Big collision that Rice ended up falling out of the pile. Over and around the corner. Shot from Resetarits down low on Del Bianco. He'll give up to Doucette here. Shots now 27-22. As we are in the back half of this second period. 4-2 game. Muskies games have been low scoring. That aggressive defense that we saw on display in day number 1. That has been their strong suit. That and Nick DeMood. Although only able to come away with 3 wins so far. Another one here would do it. Put them into the conversation for tomorrow. I mean, Ladner came through this tournament. They looked like one of the best teams. They could finish 3rd.
Oh, my. Nice goal.
On the run, Pace. DeMood saying that shouldn't count. He's all over the official, but Pace has scored.
Every time they get the ball, they're running up the floor, and Pace comes off the bench. Let's see if we can count any bodies. I don't think there was too many. I don't think he's complaining about that. Maybe he thinks Pace stepped in the crease.
Well, his first point is like over to the boards here. I don't think I said anything that would upset him. Snake Island coming again. Said Ladner could finish 3rd. It would take quite the goal differential swing in this game to make that happen. But
well, wouldn't a win?
A win would give Snake Island 4-2, and Ladner would be 4-2 as well.
But then I don't think the goal differential matters if it's just the 2 of them. It would be head-to-head. And
oh, then the
Snake
head-to-head
Island would get in,
yeah. Unless Ganawaki does perhaps the impossible, the improbable anyways against Oakville tonight. DeMood is down, and he's hurt in the crease. Made an acrobatic, spectacular save, but the left leg got caught up underneath him, and he's down.
Yeah, that could surely change the complexion if DeMood were taken out.
Oh.
Has he played every minute? I'm trying to figure out.
I think Kobe Johnson came on in relief for a few minutes.
But Damoud has obviously been one of the MVPs of this team.
We're just talking about how important he is to them, and goes down here. The left leg got caught up underneath of him, making a save. Kobe Johnson has 8 minutes and 9 seconds in this tournament. Allowed 2 goals on 5 shots. 36 goals on 220 for Nick Damoud, who makes a great save first off.
Yeah.
But then the big problem comes later.
Yeah, that would definitely change the complexion of this game if Damoud has to leave. Let's hope he's all right.
And this building has gone absolutely silent. Training staff working on him, and they're going to raise him up, and that does not look good.
Yeah, that's not a good sign when he looks like he's putting all his weight on one foot, and even worse, it looks like they're not taking him to the bench.
Yeah. This is bad news for Nick Damoud. Bad news for, I believe it's Panther City, yeah?
Yeah.
Bad news for Snake Island. Kobe Johnson giving fist bumps all the way down the bench as he's going to come on in relief here.
Oh, and this is where the tough, hard-working defense of Snake Island are going to want to do everything to support this new goalie going in.
Again, one of the top teams in the tournament coming in terms of defense, coming into this game, that is. We've been impressed with their defense from game number 1.
Well, when I talked to Josh Sanderson before the tournament even began, I said, what makes your team so good? He says, defense is first. It's all about our defense.
Six Nations have actually given up 3 less goals. Ladner 4 less, so Oakville Rock are just miles ahead of everybody in that category. But it's 4-3 here as we're back underway. Skylar Thomas winning the loose ball. He'll circle the net. Stumbled up and it got filled in.
You know Ladner's going to want to take some shots, take some long shots. Nobody wants to see a goalie get hurt, but they're going to want to press it to their advantage.
Again, they can still finish first here as Turner cuts back, shot over top of the net. It should be one of them or Oakville that finishes in top spot. And, I mean, if you're playing 4th, it's one of those teams, depending on who gets in. I mean, there are good squads that are going to sneak into the playoff picture here. Chris Atwood.
And it's
one and done.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility that Oakville could finish first, Six Nations 4th, and a rematch of the only game that Oakville did not look good.
Getting me too excited, Shannon.
Like, honestly, I think Oakville's a better team in the long run than Six Nations, but in a one-gamer, I think Six Nations could beat any team in one game.
Edmonton in a one game, Snake Island in a one game. Like, that situation scares me in the semifinal because, as we said coming in, we thought there were 5 teams that could legit win there. There's 6.
Well, there's 6 fighting for those playoff spots. That's right.
And Tuscarora, we've been saying it the whole time. They're 0-5. Could easily be in this conversation with a couple games, 1 minute or 2 minutes here or there. whole different conversation for the Tomahawks. Fantastic tournament over the last 5 days here. 4.5 to go in the second period. Rebound picked up by Ladner as they run it back out. Barker.
Have not really tested Johnson, not with a big outside shot.
Just thinking the same thing. His first real shot on net is from Doucette in tight, and the Snake Island crowd underneath of us shows their appreciation. Atwood. Resetaritz off the bench. Already a man in the corner. Here comes Skylar Thomas to crash in. Turning and firing is Rice. Gave a little parting shot to Carey, and looking for a man off the bench. It was Pace. Ladner goes through the crease. So the Muskies have it back. No timeouts in that first period, by the way, so full slate as we get down the stretch here in the second period. Keogh to Atwood. Big high step. Electing not to shoot. He'll work to his wrong side, wheel over, and then he'll take the shot.
You know, sometimes you think you're not going to score on Del Bianco on a shot from the wrong side, but you can't think that. You got to give him those outside shots like you would any goalie.
Turner can't find a cutter, goes up to Pace.
Oh boy.
Took his time and rang it off the outside of the post, excuse me. Dylan Lacroix. Shanks works around a screen. Back for Lacroix outside. Low save made there by Johnson. Gets it up for Woods. Mike Mallory high on Woods. Walking around near center. Mallory gets warned for the slash. And the rest of Terrence comes in with 10 on the shot clock, and Vaughn Harris went hard into him, and then he got hit down. Racing off the bench was Tyler Halls. Get back and take a quick restart away from Ladner. Shanks loses control far side. He'll pass back down to Bromley on the crease. Going up top looking for Keith. Him and Hairwires were both high, and Halls is going to lead transition. Will now slow down because he's got no help. Off the bench, hard shot. And Sam Firth sounded like he hit the post before that went up and out of play.
You know, there's a number of big shooters that are just dying to take an outside shot on Kobe Johnson.
Haven't seen it yet.
They're having trouble taking a free outside shot, and you got to give the credit to the defense. Snake Island.
Del Bianco to Doucette to Bromley. Working it through Caputo. He'll open space for Shanks. Bromley had to have a couple cracks at it. Bromley in the corner. Woods is going to wait out the shot clock.
That's a smart play by Woods. I think Bromley recognizes that he's not going to get that ball back. Getting close to that pull your goalie point.
10 seconds away from the last minute here, the second period. Firth to Thomas, who was circling the net. Bounces right back to Mike Mallory. Barker trailing. Claire trailing both of them, and now Claire will retreat all the way back up towards mid-floor, and they'll get the rest of the offense out. Mallory to Pace. Hairwires wants it. Pace will take the shot, and that's up high on Johnson, and then Pace went down at the hands of Tyler Halls, and both officials' arms went up. This will be the first power play of the game for the Ladner Pioneers.
Yeah, tough play. Johnson has played fantastic on the shots and his defense in front of him, but just after making the save on the big, heavy outside shot from Pace, they get a penalty. So you know the shooters are going to be taking the shots here.
Pace, hair wires up top, Shanks on the far side. Down on the far crease is Caputo, Bromley near side. Shot does come from Shanks, and Johnson will jump on top of it. Johnson and Jerry Stotts, and Josh Sanderson was screaming for a timeout off that home.
Yeah, you might as well use it. You can only use one per period. They've got 2 left. So they just want to make sure they get out of this period without another Ladner goal.
Leading 4-3 right now. Again, a win locks them into playoff day tomorrow. 2 semis coming up. 2 versus 3 at 3 p.m. 1 versus 4 at 7. Those winners will come back to play for gold on Saturday. Bronze medal game precedes that at 3 p.m. If they lose, it's a mess. It'll be a tie break. They can still lose and get in if Kahnawake and Six Nations lose. But if either of those 2 teams win, Six Nations against Tuscarora at 5, Kahnawake versus Oakville at 8 tonight, there would be a 3-way tiebreaker scenario, which goes to the goal differential formula, which doesn't look good for Snake Island. So the easiest thing to do is just take care of your business right here, right now.
Oh, good check.
Ladner turn it over, blowing up the play, and they'll call timeout.
Did they call timeout? Oh,
they did with a
I don't like
2-on-1.
that. I don't like that call. If I'm Snake Island, I am thankful that Ladner called that
Yes.
timeout.
You were breaking in.
And a great job by Ladner. Who was that who stole the ball? They didn't give, I think it was Brian Rice who started with the ball for Snake Island. 2 guys on him tight. Took away his space. Oh, there we're going to see it. 95, that's Nicholas Jensen. Good job, Nicholas Jensen and Jacob Doucette. They force him to go one way. Oh, just a stick shot. Reached over, almost a hold, but you know what?
Not a penalty if it's not called.
I take it back, too. Maybe this is not the 2 guys you want on the 2-on-1. Nicholas Jensen is not a goal scorer, and neither is Doucette. Doucette's got 1 goal in the tournament. So maybe it is right with 9 seconds to go. You want to get your Tyler Pace, your Austin Shanks on the floor.
Pace to hair wires through the middle. Caputo low shot. And they're going to run out of time. Del Bianco on the bench.
Oh,
it's in, but well after the horn.
Boy. If he picked that up cleanly, Shane Francis could have had an empty net goal. But
boy, oh boy.
Let's give some credit to Kobe Johnson, the
Yes.
28-year-old, 5'10", 280, goaltender from Akwesasne. Has been perfect so far. Tough situation to come in.
And has to survive another 20 minutes with one of the better defensive teams in this tournament in Snake Island. They're up 4-3 after 2, playing for their tournament lives. 20 minutes left to go, and it comes your way. In 9.5 minutes, we'll take the timeout from here at the 2023 President's Cup in Oakville, Ontario. Back inside the Toronto Rock Athletic Center for the third period of our second game of the day here on day 5, moving day, at the 2023 President's Cup. 4-3 lead for the Snake Island Muskies over the Ladner Pioneers. And Colby Johnson remains in the net for the Muskies. Nick DeMood did not come out of the locker room.
Oh, yeah, that was my first peek. I was hopeful that maybe he'd be back. Not likely, and he is not, but so far, Colby Johnson's played well, but he's going to have a tough challenge here as there's still a minute and 25 left on the Ladner power play.
Speaking of goaltenders, we missed a birthday shout-out. Just been informed today is Christian Del Bianco's birthday.
Yeah, I believe he turns 26 today, and still a young guy who seems like he's been around forever. But
when we first saw him in Ontario, he was 17, playing for a Minto Cup.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Stealing the show. Played for 3 different ones here in Ontario.
Yeah, I think I've watched him. Yeah, I've been watching him since the early Mintos. Of course, he won. Did he win 2 of them?
I think so.
He's won an NLL championship, but today for his birthday, he just wants to win this game.
Pace behind the back. Still on the power play are the Ladner Pioneers. A minute left in the penalty to Tyler Halls. Pick coming for Shanks. Interesting that Pace shot around the wrong side of that screen. Still managed to get the reset of the shot clock, though. Shanks thought he saw space over the right knee. Now Pace to Hairwires. They play catch with it. Tipped away, far side. Hairwires has to recollect himself. Under 10 to go. Pace, Hairwires, low shot. And the save made by Johnson.
You get the feeling that these guys, Pace, Shanks, they're just dying to take more shots on this backup goaltender, Colby Johnson.
Well, I was about to ask you, I mean, you know what you're going to get with, you recognize the name Nick DeMood. You recognize Christian Del Bianco. You might have heard of Colby Johnson, but probably not. He can surprise people here, but I guess the thought is just to see what he's got and fire it at him.
It's just test a guy, yeah. You know, whenever a new goalie comes in, you want to get high, hard outside shots as quickly as possible.
Now, last trip down the floor looked like they were still trying to pick corners. They go 5-hole this time to Shanks. He's trying to go all the spots that are tough for goalies, by the knees, 5-hole.
Yep.
It looked like Hairwires was trying to pick corners.
Well, we saw in that last game when Kanawaki pulled Aaron Bold and put in bucket, and I believe it's the next shot was a goal. And that's, you know, when you're the opposing team, that's what you want to happen. You want to say, okay, that plan backfired. This is not a plan by Snake Island. This is a necessity.
No. Ball down floor. Johnson's going to come out of the crease, and good thing he got that cleanly because Bromley was also sniffing around for a loose ball. Comes Harris off the bench. He'll jog it to the near side.
Hidden ball trick. I don't think it fooled anybody.
No, faked it to Skyler. They have it outside. Here's Atwood. Big fake shot. Got tripped up. No call coming. The bench wants one. And now picking it up is Nathan Henari. He ends up in
that's going to be a penalty.
Bench.
Not a smart play by Atwood.
I'd be surprised if it's not.
I could not see him not getting a penalty there.
Well, the first words out of the mouth of Ladner were change box. I don't know if we have that rule here at the Prezi, but.
Well, if he doesn't get a penalty, I think he dodged a bullet because
I would agree with you.
Just after I thought he made a great play to run back, stick check, pop the ball out of bounds, he cross-checks a guy who's basically almost in his bench already.
An offensive star. That's been one of the knocks on Chris Atwood over the years, has been the discipline.
And now he's on the bench. If I was on the bench, I'd be hiding on that bench.
Yeah, I'd be under it.
Yep, I think, he dodged a bullet there.
They come away without the penalty, but possession will go to Ladner.
And even that, his team had the ball. Why give the ball up?
Caputo cuts through. Twist shot when he got there, but he was in the crease.
not without their chances has been Ladner since the goaltending change.
Skylar Thomas. Back up top, Keogh. Thomas takes a couple of whacks. Outside to Resetaritz. Joe Resetaritz gets a screen. Now another one from Harris goes to Thomas. Back for Keogh. His shot, and Del Bianco the save. And ball down. That was Barker that first took care of Keogh and then grabbed the loose ball. Austin Shanks. Passing to the corner. Hairwires. Loads up, sidearm, hard shot, Johnson to the right. And Keith was right there. Shanks off center, got filled in. Quick peek to the official. All arms are down as Nate Woods laid out Austin Shanks. Here's Hairwires. Back for Keith, his shot.
Oh, that went in.
Oh, it went through Johnson.
Oh, that's too bad. But I was just about to say, he has not made any spectacular saves, but he has saved all of them. And this one by Ryan Keith, I mean, it looked like it went right for the belly. Oh no, between the legs. And I'm not even sure that Johnson realized that got behind him. So finally, Ladner.
I thought he made the save as well.
Yeah, Ladner's been able to solve him.
Zabo down. I'll let Evan Schimenauer look at the score and figure out what happens next. We're all knotted at fours. Pace. Down to the crease for Shanks. Cuts back and finds the corner.
And Shanks, he's often looked frustrated this game. We saw him get laid out just a shift ago. This time, he's got lots of room, reaches to the far side, goes back to the short side, and stays out of the crease just long enough for the goal to count. So Ladner has taken the lead. First lead since 1-0 at the beginning of the game.
Remind you that Snake Island, if it comes to it, has the head-to-head against Edmonton. If it were with two teams, if there are three or more, they all kind of cancel each other out and we go to the goal formula, which that goal right there drops 2/100ths, 0.02 for Snake Island, which would knock them out of the play-in round. But now it's back tied. Sam Firth
gets his first. Firth gets his first. We've been saying he's been snake bitten. We're the Muskies. And
nicely done.
yes, that one wasn't even on purpose, but he gets a nice shot here around a crowd. Just a perfect high shot. And I would never say that Del Bianco has a weak spot, but I do see more goals going up high than low. And doubly important because Snake Island has not been playing a lot of offense this period. It seems like the ball has constantly been in the sticks of Ladner.
Well, the Muskies feeling it after that last goal. They get it back. Rice to the far side. Firth down, and down. We got a player down. Skylar Thomas back at the restraining line. He gets up and puts a two-hander right into Barker, who goes back with a couple cross checks.
He better watch it here with, all referees' eyes are watching him.
All six of them out there. Shanks, big high step. Over to Hairwires. Excuse me, I believe that's Alex Turner. The 91, not the 71, down in that corner. And then a big collision for it now. The only Ladner Pioneer in the pile got knocked down. And we are knotted at 5. Ty Thompson.
And that last goal by Snake Island broke a 3-goal run by Ladner.
Swim move. Harris gets hit while he was falling. Sticks up between Atwood and Connor Davidson. Look out here. Thompson came in and got a big piece of Jensen. All of a sudden, the intensity is picked up after not a whole lot happened through 2 and the better part of a half a period. Irving is sitting on Chris Atwood back here at center.
And actually, there is a reset. Oh, no, that was a wrong reset. And the referee's calling. There's only a few seconds left of the shot clock.
That's why Pace lets one rip from center. And running into it is Shane Francis.
Yeah, Jensen had originally picked up the ball and dropped it. So back to Snake Island.
Resiteritz comes near side for Skylar Thomas. Got a screen. Another big one there from Rice. Knocks down Zabo, who's down again outside the restraining line. We've seen him dinged up a couple times, and he's going to forget about his stick even. But his team's down in transition. A couple moves before the shot. Nathan Hanari stopped by Johnson, but pulled a couple moves out of the bag before the shot was taken. Chris Atwood.
Atwood wants his team to take a breath here. They don't have enough guys on the floor.
Resiteritz, maybe that's why they were slowing it up. Last one out there will be Francis, who will stay at center with only 5 in the shot clock. Resiteritz, they did get the reset.
They did get the reset.
Now they can get an offensive player out there. It'll be the righty and Ty Thompson. Lefty here, Firth. Gets around the screen, and they call it moving.
What was that for? Firth?
I don't know. Is it delay a game? Oh, boy.
I do think that was a tough call. Calling that interference, that pick, they've let a lot worse go than that one.
You almost want to decline the penalty if you're Ladner. They were taken off with 2 guys, but not going to matter if Shanks just finds a hole and puts it in.
Shanks has got the last 2 goals for Ladner. Took him a while to find his range, but here Shanks is one of the elite shooters who does not need to shoot hard. Just seems to be able to deceive goalies with a slight twist on his shots.
Josh Sanderson let the officials know what he thought of that delay game call. It was 2 steps with the ball still in the stick before it was
I feel
down.
His frustration on that one with 10 minutes to go in such a tight game.
Keep an eye on Jensen and Zach Deacon on the left side of your screen as they went nose to nose for that face-off, and then the gloves came up a little bit as they now separate. Doucette and Shanks.
What you don't want to be the guy who gets sent off without taking somebody off with you in a play like that.
Shanks tried to get it
a holding
through the
call.
pace.
I believe holding the stick.
Yeah, the stick is down on the turf. And Luke Magnan's going to go off. And Josh Sanderson might just do the same afterwards.
So a few penalties this period is really hurting Snake Island. That last power play took a couple seconds.
Here's Pace.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Hair wires.
Okay, that one took 5 seconds. Hair wires, and his game has not been the outside shot goals this tournament, but this one he just threads the needle in that top right corner.
So right now, should we get the 3-3 split between Snake Island, Edmonton, including Ganawaki and Six Nations in this if it gets there? That last goal drops Snake Island in the goal differential formula below Ganawaki and Edmonton.
But if it's all 4, You're talking about if all four of them make it? All
yeah.
four of them make it. The first is their head-to-head record against the four of them.
Yeah, and they've all kind of beat each other, which is the problem.
See,
Okay. Ganawaki beats Snake Island. Edmonton beat Ganawaki and Six Nations. So I'm not sure if that would throw them out. Because Snake Island beat Six Nations in Edmonton. Six Nations would then only have the win over Ganawaki. So
my brain is starting to hurt.
big game coming up next between Six Nations and Tuscarora. Big conversation about that face-off. Tyler Halls had his stick right on top of it. Had to be taken, by the way, by Travis Irving because Zabo is still on the sideline getting attention from the trainer.
Oh, yeah. Zabo's been great on face-offs.
And down goes Mallory, and the player that dropped him was Thomas, who cuts to the net and scores.
A big goal by Thomas, who's been dropped to the floor himself a number of times this game. And, oh, yeah, they got called on a picker. That was a much worse pick than the one we saw earlier on. And, of course, that's why Thomas gets wide open. And a nice little fake and reaches the far side of Del Bianco.
Six Nations facing Tuscarora next, by the way. Need a win and a big one to help that ratio out. That would put them 3-3. Snake Island again. Win guarantees them a spot tomorrow, and they would be tied with Ladner at 4-2 and would have the head-to-head because of this game. So Ladner would drop to the 3rd seed, and they'd do it all tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Shanks. Player down far side. Regains his footing. Sets the screen. Sidearm shot. Bromley. Johnson the save. Rebound up for grabs. Lacroix in there. It's flipped out for Tyler Halls. Skylar Thomas runs into it. 7-6 lead for Ladner. Snake Island would do well to get a couple more. Firth. Skylar Thomas. Crashed in through the middle. Passed up top. Harris was looking for the pass before he caught the ball. Down to Joe Ressa. Terrence the dive. And somehow Del Bianco keeps it out.
Those are wide open looks that Snake Island is getting in a critical part of the game. I don't know what's going on with the defense of Ladner. But I will say Brian Rice is throwing some great huge picks out there and getting away with some pretty aggressive ones.
Far side, Harrowires has seemed to have found his range. We get a moving screen called on the near side with pace, and then Keith runs over his man and then trips over his feet. Wallace Thompson and...
I think Wallace Thompson is just trying to get a power play for his team, and I don't blame him. Too many.
There's 6 black jerseys out there. That's going to give the ball back to the Pioneers.
Oh, that could easily be
knocked by the Pioneers off the foot of Keogh. I would have taken...
well, Keogh took his time putting the ball down. I think that was reasonably fair, but then he gave it a last little push that he got away with.
Shanks. A man down on the far side by way of the
There's a lot of bodies going down.
On this side.
Stotts, who's put a lot of men down himself, he got knocked down.
Him and Pace are continuing the conversation.
This is no time to get revenge.
I was just about to say, for a game that means so much to both of these teams. Thomas's sidearm is off the end boards. This has gotten a little bit spicy here down the stretch.
I love Skylar Thomas's game today. He's played great. I think he's been one of the best players in Snake Island offensively.
Keith to Shanks, who shoots. Johnson there to make the save. Looking for that same spot on the right leg where he potted one earlier. 38th shot on net, 41 for Snake Island.
A little bit of a press, not not too aggressive, but they effectively ate about 15 seconds from the shot clock from Ladner. Ladner did to Snake Island.
Terrence in the corner, turning and shooting. Atwood.
That's coming out the floor.
With the save, and it's going to be transition back the other way. In behind everybody. Nick Jensen scores.
Well, we know who got the assist on that one. The birthday boy, Del Bianco, whips it up the floor. You know, when he sees plays like that, even when he's busy making the save and he knows one of his teammates is wide open, he just can't get that ball in his stick fast enough, and he makes a perfect pass like he has so many times in his career. That's his 5th assist of the tournament. If that's his first of the game, I think it is.
For Jensen, yeah.
No, first.
For Del Bianco, first assist.
First assist of this game.
Claire without a stick, sliding to kick it back in his own end, but too far away from Nathan Hanari. Penalty called down in the corner. Hanari's going to get it as him and Claire come back, and they're all
not careful, though, they might be
halls.
getting a second penalty.
There are sticks everywhere. I know it's moving day, but we didn't need the yard sale to go with it. Terrence to Atwood. In the corner, no look to Thompson. Skylar Thomas, completes the hat trick.
And he is pumped, and he's had a game. Every time it looks like Ladner is pulling away, he's responded. And this is the 6-on-5, and you see him waving that stick at his teammate. Give it to me.
Eight, 7 with 7 to go. And the more that I play with the ratio beside me, I don't see an outcome where Snake Island lose this and get themselves stay ahead of Ganawaki. On the run.
Great effort by Deacon.
Del Bianco on Deacon. Of course, Ganawaki would still have to beat Oakville tonight to move to 3-3. Bromley Shanks in the corner. That's Mallory feeding it back to Bromley. Big chop in the middle. Magnan's tied up with somebody on the far side, and they'll go to transition up here to Nate Woods. He's already across center. Six Nations Tuscarora coming up next. Skylar Thomas walks in, got stripped at the last second.
First move was great, but then second stop.
Jensen in transition again. Looked like Hanari was saying, hold up, as he went for a change, and Jensen was having none of that. Another great game here in this tournament. It has been a treat to be here at the track this week.
Rezataris has been quiet for a while, just one goal in this game.
Going to try the swim move. Actually looked off the shot. Coming back up top instead and nearly cleanly intercepted.
Oh, my.
Owen Barker.
That was a nice pickoff by Barker.
Jake Carey to Pace. The captain, Keith, off the bench. 5 minutes to go in the third. Hairwires. Cross floor. Pace. Works around a screen. Pace has it back. And Keith went right through his man. And then Pace picks the corner.
Oh, my. What a shot. But, yeah, Luke Magnan was just flattened to the ground. Let's watch this again. Magnan steps up. And, yeah, Keith just knocks him down. I really don't think it had a bearing on the goal, though, but Pace just had a fantastic shot. As he's making his angle worse, he puts it in that far side.
Under 5 to go, a 2-goal lead here for Ladner. On their side of the ledger, they would move to 5-1 with a win. And that would force Oakville to get one. If they finish head-to-head, Oakville winners last night would get top spot. Sam Firth. Resiterit's on the run. Low shot, Del Bianco. Of course, that's after an Oakville win tonight against Ganawaki. Should they take that 8 p.m. matchup? It's all up to Jake Elliott and Pat Gregoire to do the math on the fly once we get out of here. Shanks. Still has it. Passed in through the middle. Caputo couldn't hang on to it. And now we keep our eye on Johnson to see when he goes to the bench.
I was curious as to whether they'll decide to do it early. I think they're going to wait till at least less than 3 minutes.
Wallace Thompson through Atwood down in the corner. Couple big high steps here. Vaughn Harris on the crease. Resiterit's.
Holy cow. The pass from Vaughn Harris and the finish of Resiterit's. Man, they got something out of nothing. Like Resiterit's is open, but to make that pass go through is amazing. And then he's backing off and he floats it in.
Nearly fooled our crew in the process. 9-8.
Hey, we've had a pattern here. They go up by 2. They come within 1. We'll see if Snake Island can break this pattern and tie it up.
Tie up there, and again, no Zabo at the dot.
And remember, we have no overtime. A tie is a tie.
I'm laughing because what that would do to the standings that we've been trying to figure out for 5 hours already. And every one of Evan's playoff scenarios said that's assuming no ties.
Yeah.
So, Resiterit's shot got blocked in front, and then a takedown on the crease as they really put the whistles away here. Jensen. Going to come up high to Austin Shanks. A pair of big goals here in this third period already for Shanks. Double team will chase him to the corner. All the way up top. Pace now. Keith sets the pick on him. Wide shot.
Look up the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Wide open man is Jerry Stotts. He may or may not have taken it in by himself anyways, but he was wide open. Ron Harris. Round a screen. Harris all alone.
Boy.
And what a stick check there. I think that was Travis Irving. As the intensity's picked up, the defense from both sides has answered the bell here as well. 20 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. 1 goal game, 9-8. Caputo over the top. His shot caught in the stick there of Kobe Johnson. Down floor, intercepted by Pace. He was looking to find Wallace Thompson behind everybody. Shanks outside. Pace takes care of him. Lost his stick in the process.
Well, that's another call, but he's not getting it this time.
Yeah, not in this point in the game. Hairwires keeps, shoots off the shoulder of Johnson. Under 2 to go. Bromley, Hairwires. Bromley coming up to set the screen. Hairwires rolls over top of it, and that shot wide off the boards. And now it's a race for it. Going to win it was Tyler Hall.
Oh, boy.
Picks it up. 3 on nobody. Del Bianco saves his defense.
Huge save by the birthday boy. And you can bet, oh my, look at this.
Meanwhile, back the other way, Bromley.
Oh, what a stick check by Deke. Here comes the goaltender. Are they calling a timeout? Huh?
Snake Island do have one, as does Ladner.
They are not, unless they want to catch them off guard. They have not pulled them yet.
Out of the corner, Harris. Skylar Thomas. He's had a big third period as well. Thomas to the crease. And just a nonchalant little shrug of the shoulder was all that Del Bianco needed to send that aside from Sam Firth. 40 seconds left to go. Jensen has it. Ladner going to keep it back. Shane Francis, the lone muskie, up, sending Shanks. Shanks picks it up. Bench saying he went through the crease, and as they touch it in the crease, it'll be a timeout for Snake Island.
Well, timeout for sure. They're pulling the goalie this time. They're going to have 23 seconds to tie this up.
Remember this save. On the breakaway, 3 on nobody, into the 5-hole, and somehow stays in front of Del Bianco.
And Tyler Hall's, I think he scored one of the earlier goals, and it was the breakaway, that fancy shot that he took earlier on. He has 1 goal of the tournament, and it was a beauty.
I've got him for one here.
I think it was that twister that he took, and it was just a thing of beauty. Gets his second chance, and Del Bianco's not letting that one in, and it doesn't surprise anybody that Del Bianco makes a big save when he needs it most.
9 goals off 43 shots for the Ladner Pioneers, the defending champions. 8 goals off 49 shots for Snake Island, who need a win here to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs tomorrow. If not, they're going to need a fair bit of help.
And it looks like just an honest 5-man zone. It doesn't look like they're trying to shut down Resetarits or anything.
Sam Firth to Thomas. Looks off the crease, man. Quick stick. And it went to Atwood, who shot it wide. Still time, though. Here, Resetarits will shoot. And Del Bianco covers up with 5 seconds to go. Del Bianco going to hang on to it.
Called a timeout.
And timeout with 1.4 left should do it for the Ladner Pioneers, who will improve to 5-1.
Well, they had their chance. Who was that down on the crease who took that shot? Are we going to get to see it here?
On the far side was
on the far.
Atwood.
Oh my, just missed. I don't know if he had the opening, because Del Bianco got there and they get one more shot, Resetarits. And smart play by Del Bianco. Kill a few seconds, then call the timeout. You get 5 seconds to get it out of your crease. This should be pretty easy for Snake Island now. All they got to do is throw the ball the length of the floor. For Ladner.
Kobe Johnson back in between the pipes again if you missed it. Second period, Nick DeMood went down and went off injured. And the Ladner Pioneers will improve to 5-1. Snake Island dropped to 3-3. Their goal differential drops to a -5, which is below that of Edmonton, but if those two end up tied, and they're the only ones, Snake Island beat Edmonton and would win on that tie break. There's a lot more tie breaks.
At this point, Snake Island wants Six Nations to lose to Tuscarora.
Yep.
And they want Ganawaki to lose to Oakville. That's right. If that happens, Snake Island is in. I think
that would put Snake Island in the matchup against Ladner in Oakville versus Edmonton tomorrow. That's where we sit right now.
We expect Oakville to beat Ganawaki, or at least I do, but Six Nations can beat Tuscarora. No sure thing, but it's a very winnable game.
That game comes your way at 5 o'clock here on the JVI Sports Network. Be sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you don't miss anything. The entire tournament is in a playlist here on the channel as well. And then we conclude the day at 8 p.m., the last game of the round robin. Oakville Rocks sitting at 4-1. A win there would give them first place against Ganawaki Mohawks, who need a win to stay alive.
I would not be upset to see these two teams playing each other again tomorrow, but who knows if that's going to happen. Who do you pick for your players of the game? I got to go with Skylar Thomas for Snake Island.
That would have been my pick, I think. 3 goals today.
For these guys,
Tyler Pace has 2 and 2 if we're going by stats.
Could be Austin Stats. He has Austin
Nick
Stats.
Jensen.
Sorry.
Couple transition
I was going to say Austin Shanks.
I'm going Jensen, because I don't think he's got one yet.
Oh, they got that one right.
1 for 1.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to go for Shanks here.
Okay. What are we putting on it?
A sub.
I'll take that.
And I have no problem with Jensen, too. He played a good game, got a nice goal.
I got to get
hungry
you a sub.
for that sub. You got a couple of big goals in the third
if
period.
There's a nice viewer that wants to send one up on my behalf.
Another great game.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to sit back and watch the rest of them. Because Jake Elliott, Pat Gregoire take over.
Let Jake and Pat figure out the formulas now.
Do the math. We'll leave the calculator behind. 5 o'clock, your next game, Six Nations Tuscarora. That's about an hour from now right here. Take your time to rest up, and we'll bring you back to the President's Cup here in Oakville, Ontario. Ladner win 9-8, and they are comfortably into the playoffs. Tomorrow, Snake Island, well, they got to wait and see. Hope you'll do the same in just about an hour's time.
We want to thank our partners for their support of the 2023 President's Cup. Bar Down, Ice River Green Bottle Company, Gatorade, Big Chief Meat Snacks, and the Oakville Pump and Patio. Thank you for your support and helping all the competing teams as they chase the Prezi.